Welcome to Topics and Tips Tuesday in the Nursing Studio.
Hey y'all, I get so many questions about pediatric rashes, so let's talk about them today. I'll talk about the 6 most common ones, which is Roseola, fifth disease, Rubella, Rubiola, hand, foot, mouth, and Kawasaki disease. Let's chit chat about it. Now, be sure that you know both names if there are 2 names for the infection or rash. So, Roseola, let's talk about it, also known as 6th disease. This is the disease where you'll see a macular papular rash on the child, and it arrives typically after having a high fever, typically a few days after the high fever has resolved. So a lot of times parents will come in bringing children saying, you know, they see this rash, the child hasn't been sick, they don't have anything else going on other than they may have previously had a fever, but that's resolved and they haven't noticed anything else. Classic for Roseola, and the only thing it needs to do is give it time. It will resolve on its own, okay? So again, Roseola is 6th disease. Roseola has an S in it. Think of that as 6, and then it resolves on its own, okay?
Here is an image of Roseola.
Next we have 5th disease. 5th disease, also known as Erythema Infection. This is a contagious virus, typically transmitted airborne, and it causes this lacy rash across the face that looks like their cheeks have been slapped. So I always say, think 5 fingers, 5th disease, slap face appearance, okay? So that is the main thing for that, and the way we treat it is through symptomatic management, okay?
Here is an image of 5th disease, also known as Erythema Infection.
I also want to talk about macular papular rash. You hear so many rashes, especially in children, described as a macular papular rash, and some of you guys are like, what is that truly? You just kind of remember that term, but don't know what it is or to identify it. So a macular papular rash is where there's a reddened base, and then there's those pinpoint bumps on top of that reddened base. And check out this picture so it'll help you a little bit more, okay?
So here you see the reddened base with the pinpoint bumps on top. This is a macular papular rash.
All right, so then there's Rubiola, also known as the measles. We know that there's a vaccine to prevent this, but children will present with this with a fever, runny nose. They have that blotchy appearance in the rash, and Koplik spots, the key identifier with this. Now, what are Koplik spots? I'll also show you an image of Koplik spots and Rubiola, but Koplik spots are where they have these reddened areas inside the buccal mucosa, inside their cheek area. And so check out this image of that, and it'll help you guys to retain this as well.
Here you can see the blotchy appearance with Rubiola. Here's an image of Koplik spots on the buccal mucosa.
Rubella. So, okay, all of these words can start to run together. So I try to find ways so that y'all can, remember which one is which, and find fun little sayings or mnemonics or whatever else or something silly to remember it. But with Rubella, they'll present with a fever. They have the macular papular rash. But what differs in this, it typically starts from the face and then goes down to the trunk. Okay, so the rash will spread from the face first down to the trunk. So with this, that macular papular rash will be here first to the trunk. I always say, think of the shape of a bell. So you know a bell that we kind of swing like this. It starts out small at the top and then it spreads at the base. So I say, think about that, the shape of a bell, Rubella. I know it sounds crazy, but hey, whatever works so that you can retain it is what we're going to do. And so Rubella, shaped like a bell because it spreads from your base down to your trunk, okay? And Rubella resolves on its own.
You can see the rash on the face and trunk here.
Hand, foot, mouth disease comes from the Kawasaki virus, and it is exactly what it says. There's sores along the inside of the mouth, the insides of the palms of the hand, I should say, and then on the soles of their feet, okay? So you'll see little bumps and sores all on those areas. And you want to do symptomatic management with analgesics and things of that nature until it resolves.
Here is an image of the sores on the palms of the hand.
Lastly, we have Kawasaki disease. These children may present with a fever. They may have vasculitis. They may have a strawberry tongue. Strawberry tongue is classic with this. So you'll see an image of a truly strawberry tongue on a child as a common identifier.
Pause. I had to stop really quick to show y'all what the strawberry tongue looks like.
Be sure that you're doing echoes on these children because vasculitis can lead to murmurs. So you want to make sure you are following and evaluating that. And we treat them with aspirin, IVIG, and symptomatic management. I always say Kawasaki disease, think heart, because you think about a Kawasaki like a motorcycle. So when you're riding, your adrenaline, your heart rate is up. So think about that it affects the heart, and that you need to do an echo on these people. I know some of these things may sound silly, but I hope that what I call Brittany's brilliance, these things can help you with retaining these. I hope that you find this helpful. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification link so that you can, that little bell, so that you can get the notifications and know when I'm doing new videos. This is just another one of our weekly topics and tips, but I wanted to be sure that you were able to get the information along with images, as I discussed earlier, with making sure that you Google your images and things so it helps with your retention. So again, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification button.